Welcome, the PGA Tour, lads. We have a major again tomorrow. So we've brought in Conor Gartland. Conor, great to have you on board of Cold Bear Sport. We hear you're a very shrewd man in the golf betting side of things. Tell us a small little bit about your interests coming up for the PGA Championship this weekend.
Well, cheers, Paddy. Thanks for having me on. Keen interest. I won't say I'm a shrewd punter. Some people might say that, but I don't know if I'd say that myself. But sure, I'll give it a go. But this week, so it's PGA Championship. It's a Southern Hills Golf Club in Oklahoma. It's a par 70, tough course, just under 7,500 yards. You can change it depending on the conditions over the weekend. That being said, Tiger won in 07. He was around 8 under par, so it's probably going to be in around the same score this year. That course was redesigned in 2019. There was a revamp done. It was done by a guy called Gil Hans. Now, basically what he's done is he has cut back all the trees around the fairways, cut back the rough, and he's made the greens very difficult. So he's cut back the rough around the greens and made them kind of upward with a lot of runoff slopes on them. Now, not many people know he designed the golf course in Rio for the Olympics in 2016. Now, very similar setup, very open off the tees, very tough course with your irons, slopes off greens again. And with that being said, that week we've seen Justin Rose come out with the gold, Stenson was second, and Kuchar. Now, them players had three things in common back then. They were probably the best iron players in the world. Now, this week, that's kind of where I'm leading to. I want to go for players that are very strong iron players. You know, accurate off the tee, okay, but you want to be very good with your irons. You want to be very precise. You want to be, getting into the middle of the green, getting it close. Accuracy, obviously, everyone's going to be the same. You can hit it big, you can hit it long. Rough is not going to be a trouble this week. So the first tip from myself this week is Will Zalatorius. Now, Zalatorius ranks fourth in stroke gain approach on the PGA Tour. So he's clinical with his irons. Probably at the moment the best iron player in the world. He's yet to win on the tour, which, okay, it's not a great thing, but we've seen it before with Charles Schwarzer, another great iron player. He won the Masters in 2011. He hadn't won on the PGA Tour yet. So it can be done. And of course, Ben Curtis did it all years ago when he won the Open.
Just a quick one on Will. Would you be worried about his putting this week?
Yeah, it's always his putting inside around the 10 feet. So they're going to be long irons into greens this week. So his putting generally from around 10 feet, 10 to 20, 25 feet, is very good. Now, last week he missed the cut at the Byron Nelson, which wouldn't be a course that would be too much into his eye because it was a Gordy Fest. It was, I think, 26 under finished it. But he's finished tied 6, 4 of his last 8 events. Now, one of them was at Augusta. So, you're looking at that. He's a strong player. He's probably going to be one of the next big up-and-coming players in America. His putting, yes, it can lead you down a rabbit hole, but I just think this week, with the iron play, I think it gives him a big advantage on many players in the tour on the course. Plus, he's also, I think I didn't say it, there's a draw bias this week. So he's out early on Thursday morning, out late Friday evening, which there looks to be a little bit of bias that the wind isn't going to be strong tomorrow morning, where it's going to pick up in the afternoon, and it's just going to be the same all day Friday. So he might get a little bit of an advantage tomorrow morning. So that's kind of what I just think. Zalatorius, I think he is primed. So I think I would definitely keep him inside. He's around 33 to 1. I would see him as a good each way value bet, but also I do like his chances to win this week.
Yeah, he's there's no doubt about it. He has all the natural ability in the world. And personally, my own personal opinion, for what it's worth, I don't think he's that bad of a putter at all. He does miss some silly shots, but on the whole, I think the minute he does figure it out, he'll probably put in a display where he'll blast the field out of it.
Well, yeah, I can see him being very similar to Scheffler this year. Scheffler hadn't won last season. He came from the Corn Ferry Tour, was meant to be this guy that had this college career, and he just couldn't get over the line. But when he got over the line in Phoenix this year, we seen what he done. You've done and won in Phoenix. You've done and won the match play. You won the Masters. I think when Zalatorius can get that first win, I can see this guy being easily top 5 player in the world. He has the ability.
He's phenomenal. Tell me, before we go on any further, quick jump back to any of the past winners. We're seeing, what about McIlroy? You know, definitely he's been so hit and miss lately. But just a quick word on certain players that might come back from, not the dead, but come back from in and out runs and run good. Can you see anyone? Can you see anyone bouncing back this week?
Well, McIlroy, again, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be his first rounds in these majors are awful. And in fairness, the PGA haven't helped him, giving him a group at Woods. You know, the crowds are going to be massive following him and Woods. You know, and Jordan with him as well. Like, everyone is on Jordan this week because Jordan showed a bit of life.
Yeah.
I just think McIlroy is probably a bet after the first round to see how he is. But again, then you're going to lose the price. You know, McIlroy puts in a good first round. More than likely, he's probably going to go favourite if he's up near the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I just don't like this thing of this strong finish in the last day when the pressure's off, like at the Masters. You know, McIlroy ends up
he comes home like a steam train. But Mark, I will say one thing. What I've noticed, the markets overreact to him in too big of a way. Like, there's massive swings whether he bogeys or birdies. Like, the man, as you say, let's say he gets off to a good start, sure, the value goes straight out of his price. Like, he's probably a lay most of the time because he's just always undervalued, you know, with still maybe 3 days of golf to play. You know,
people look back on him. They look back to McIlroy. And then another guy up the top of the leaderboard there, up the top of the price, is Jon Rahm. Now, Rahm hadn't won for over 12 months on the tour. He won in Mexico a few weeks ago, which was a very poor event. It was one of the poorest PGA Tour events, you know, this year. And he only got over the line. He just fell over the line. He bogeyed the last that day, and I think he ended up winning by a shot. Now,
so he missed the fairway on the last hole, yeah.
Yes, he did. He like, that's something. It was nearly as if the pressure was getting to him. Oh, yeah. And so I just think, to be quite honest, I think he's too thick. I really think I think the emotion, he lets the emotion get to him. Like this year, he was caught on camera shouting about the greens. I don't know if I can swear, but he said these are the worst fucking greens I've ever seen. You know, to me, a player like that, you can't trust him. He's too volatile. So he'd be another one I would be passing by. Now, of course, Scheffler, that's up the top of the leaderboard. What can I say? He at the moment, he's the best golfer in the world.
Just a quick word then on another really good iron player, Colin Morikawa. How can he come into this reckoning? Give him any chance this weekend? Yeah,
I think you'd always have to be strong with Colin. Colin he's just a perennial winner of majors. Like, to come on and to win the USPGA and the Open, I think it's for a player like it, that's just, it's unheard of. It's unbelievable that, you know, he can come straight out of college and from the Corn Ferry do this. You know, you're not meant to be able to do this. It's meant to be tough. He makes golf look easy. Again, and now it's going back to the putting, and I know I picked Zalatorius, but, you know, Colin, when he's a cold putter, he's missing putts from 20 feet and 5 feet. You know, now when he has a putt a week like the Open, he's excellent. He's very good. So that would just keep me off him. If I was going to say anything up the top leaderboard there, I think you would have to kind of have a shout for maybe someone like, I know everyone's on his feet. You know, again, it's the pressure of the group. He's out with Tiger, he's out with Rory, he's going for the career Grand Slam. Yeah, and it's his home state, of course, Oklahoma.
Well, it makes it exciting that Spieth's come back to a bit of form, because I think it's good for golf. He has a real good following, and when he was very uncompetitive for a while, you know, I think it's great to see him back, and for sure on his day he's a contender in any tournament. But yeah, I don't know, this weekend I kind of like your angle into Zalatorius. Give us another one. Surely there's one other I was about to say horse, with one other player at a nice price. I think you had a little incline into Lowry maybe playing all right.
Yeah, I like Lowry this week. Now, again, I'm going with the irons. He's 25-1 generally around there. Now, there's wind in the forecast, which won't be a problem for Shane. Plus, he ranks fifth in the PGA Tour in strokes gained approach. But I have to go all the way back to when he won his WGC at Bridgestone. So that too was a par 70. 7,400 yards, 3-line course. Similar green type with slopes running off them. Now, he won that, and he probably had one of the best fields that week in the WGC. You know, Donna won the Open. Just since he won that Abu Dhabi Championship, I think he's kicked on. He's kicked his career on. That WGC, he just took his time to come back into the limelight. He won the Abu Dhabi, then he won the Open, of course, and he was excellent there. This year, he's been in and around there. I know he contended a few weeks ago when he got very unlucky with the rain. The rain came and Sepp Straka came out and he was able to play the par 5, drive it on in 2 and buried it, where Larry was the most unluckiest player I've ever seen. He was just, the rain came down, his drive, he could only hit the drive about 250 yards, left himself an awful lie in the rough, and he parred it and, of course, lost out. But you have to look at his recent form. He played in his Euro Classic with Ian Poulter. Now, if you look at the stats and everything, you'll see, I think they finished around 14th. Poulter was awful that week. He was awful. Shane carried him. He was the best player of the week. But I don't really look too much into those events, them team events. But if you look at his 2 before that, he played the Heritage and Augusta. He was toured in both.
Yeah, he was
like he's unbelievable. He's a player that he doesn't let too much get to him. You know, that week at the Masters, all these videos come out where he was kind of shouting at his caddy and everything like that. And, you know, Shane, that's what Shane, I think he does that for a hole and then just goes back to Shane Lowry. He's just very calm.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player, and I get the feeling, and I said at the start of the season, I said there's a big one in him this year. You know, it's just, you get the feeling that he's just warming up to a big one. He's had a couple of really solid scores already, and definitely interesting. And tell me this, a quick word on Tiger Woods playing. Has to be, great to see him back. Obviously a massive task this weekend, but wouldn't put it past if he could, lads, if he could win this. I don't know, it'd be absolutely phenomenal.
Well, it would be the greatest achievement in sport. If Tiger come back and won any major after what happened, like the guy nearly lost his leg. You know, when he came back and won the Tour Championship that time, that was amazing. Then he went down and won the Masters.
Yeah.
And then he had this accident.
It's ridiculous.
What he did at Augusta was amazing. That, you know, a hilly course like that, to be able to play 4 rounds. I know over the weekend he was very poor. Now, what he's saying, the reports coming out, is that he feels stronger, you know.
Yeah, and he had a solid start, you know.
Oh, he was
under par, was he, at one stage?
1 under after the 4th round.
He was, yeah. Like, he had a real solid start. So if we can build a little on that, you know, who knows what will happen.
It's going to be a lot of pressure. As I said, that's a marquee group that they put together tomorrow morning, you know, with Tiger, Rory and Speed. Him to be going around, there's going to be crowds following him. To be honest, now, I haven't seen any markets where, if I was having a bet, I probably would back Woods to miss the cut.
It's logical. Right, quick word before we wrap it up then. Phil Mickelson, what a win in this last year.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, the oldest major winner. And it wasn't that he just plodded his way around the course. Phil,
the quality was unbelievable.
Like, he outdrove Brooks Koepka. This is the guy who's 58.
No, it's a dual winner as well.
You know, this you don't see these kind of things. Yeah. You know, and I know the whole thing with the live golf at the moment, and we can say about that, but you know, he's still one of the greats. You know, he's been excellent. But like, if what he done last year, the only person that could go one better is Tiger this year. Phil.
The only thing that could top it on will be a massive weekend. If Tiger Woods wins it, he'll break the internet. He'll break the floor with the press. That'll cover it. Anyway, listen, Conor, absolutely great to have you on, and really enjoyed talking, and a very interesting tournament coming up. Just recap there in one word, your 2 selections for the weekend, and hopefully you might put the Colbert Sports community onto a winner.
So hopefully my main selection is Zalatorius. Will Zalatorius is generally 33-1, and then we've Shane Lowry at 25. May I just add, a good top 20 bet is Maverick McNeely, 4-1.
We've had some pain with Maverick. We've been on him at 125-1 in spots where he was 1 shot off the lead with a day to go, and he bogey 4 holes the first 5. But definitely a very talented player. No stranger to bogeys, but he definitely knows how to really put a string of birdies together as well. A little frustrating to follow, but definitely Conor Gartland, right? We'll be tuning in. We'll be having the bets, and sure, we might get you on if possible next week again. We might have a look back at the Masters and a look ahead at many more tournaments to come.
The PGA Championship, not the Masters.
Or we'll look back at the PGA Championship. Yeah, we've had the Masters. Anyway, right. Take care.
Cheers, Paddy.
Thanks for talking to Cold Bear Sports.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks.